Okay, so I go to the hospital and I go. They wouldn't even try to let me go upstairs. They had my child on the fifth floor, and so when I got to the fifth floor, I went in the room. It was me and my boyfriend, and I go in the room. Excuse me, guys. I go in the room and they got all these tubes hooked onto my child, like just hooked up onto him. And my kid was a healthy kid. Like that's that was the first red flag. Like something like happened, like foreplay. Like it was weird. Okay. So I go in the hospital. I'm crying because that's my healthy son that has tubes all over him, and they're claiming he drowned or whatever. But how can a child drown somewhere? A 1 year old drown when there's other children there? Like it doesn't make sense. My child's a very cautious child. Even before he goes to you, he's gonna inspect, like analyze you. He just don't go to anybody. So for him to just walk to a body of water and drown, oh no. You can have one. So they was like, oh, my son was in the water for 8 hours. Like, come on now. Like, who does that? And this is around my own family. So it was kind of suspicious. It was weird. And I didn't believe them. I feel like they did something to my child and try to cover it up. Anyways, so now I'm praying for my son. I'm in the hospital praying, praying, praying. And they keep putting these clear stuff on his eyes. And he's fighting for his life, like literally. Because he's a chosen, he's a strong child, and he's fighting for his life, trying to open his eyes, and they just keep putting these clear liquids in his eyes. So next, the Lord showed me, as I'm praying for my son, the Lord shows me my son moving his mouth, like literally like drinking something. Like, you know how kids sip on a sippy bottle. And the CPS worker, she was like, oh, that's just reflexes. So me not knowing medical terminology, I'm just going with what they're saying, but the Holy Spirit is telling me something else. I'm smoking, don't mind me because I have anxiety. So the next thing is I just continue praying for my son. I didn't believe anything they told me because it seemed strange. And as I'm praying, the nurse, she comes and she puts this thing on my child. It's like a ventilator, and she keeps pumping him up and down, pumping him up and down, pumping him up and down. And it's like they was literally taking the life out of my child, like forcing him to die. And I didn't know. So I just keep being in prayer, and I felt like a whirlwind, like an angel coming. Like it was me praying, my mom, and some other family members in North Carolina. This happened in Minnesota. So I'm praying for my son, and then the witch, the evil cousin, she's like, "Oh, stop making all that noise." So I'm thinking my child is just going back into sleeping. He's gonna be okay, or whatever. Um,